I talk to all my kids while I'm in labor with them because I think I heard with William that the baby is going through a lot too while you're going through a lot. So I talk to them. I'm like, okay, come on, Will, or come on, Matthew. Let's do this. We got it. You okay? You okay? I talk to all my kids while I'm in labor with them. And it just helps me. I mean, they probably don't really understand what I'm saying, right? But like, I just feel like that bond and closeness with them because, yeah, it's something, it's a beautiful thing. Hi, we are, how about you say it?
Buenos dias.
And we are going to talk about something exciting, right, honey? Birth stories, yay! Only because we are, you know, have baby number 6 coming, so it's interesting to see how it will go. But I brought him along because my memory is not the best right now due to lack of sleep sometimes and just maybe pregnancy. But anyway, so he's gonna help me fill in, right, honey? So let's start with William. William was considered a preemie because he was born at 35 weeks. And I remember I was sitting on the ball and I felt a little squirt, you know, like the big, I think they're just exercise balls, but y'all know the big round ones. And I felt a little squirt and I was like, did I just tinkle? And so anyway, laid down, felt another little squirt. So I had like maybe 4 or 5 more squirts, and then I was like, let me call the doctor, the on-call doctor, because it was late. Do you remember how late it was? Maybe like 9 or something.
Yeah, it was 9 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it was pretty late. And so I just called them and they said, well, come on in, let's just check it out. And so it turned out to be my water. So my first, well, we'll get into it later, but yeah, with Will, it was not a big gush of water. It was like little squirts of water. Yeah, so I was in labor, but my body was not technically in labor, like real labor, but because my water broke, you know, they have to take out the baby, like the baby has to come out. So they induced me, I believe it was that next morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they induced me. See, it's doing great. They induced me.
I had plans to go fishing that next morning.
I forgot about that.
I had my tackle bag ready, all of my reels, had the bait on it. Well, not the bait yet, but I had done ran my string through and tied the hooks on there.
It was the Lord, because the Lord knew Will was coming. See?
Yeah.
Because that would have been terrible.
I was going to catch me some brim.
How far was the trip? Do you remember? Do you remember how far the trip was that you were going? Like, where were you going?
It wasn't far. I mean, it wasn't that far. About 30 minutes away.
Well, I would have been panicking. It's my first baby, so if you were 30 minutes away, I probably would have been like, no, Harry, get him to the hospital. But anyway, so my water broke. I remember going in. I was tired, so I wasn't like super nervous. It's a lot running through my head, right? But I was not like afraid. I was like calm, just a little nervous because, you know, it's my first baby. I have no idea what to expect. The doctor came in and said, well, you're 35 weeks, so, you know, you're considered preemie. He's considered preemie, but you should be fine. I've delivered 35-week babies before, so. But yeah, from there, I was chilling, y'all. I didn't know if I wanted an epidural or not, but yeah, I was just chilling. I was in labor for, I believe it was 16 hours with Will. Do you remember how long? It was a while, about 16 hours. Because he was the first, and like I said, they had to induce me, so my body wasn't like prepared for labor yet, so they had to like get prepared. And then they talked about doing a cesarean, and that's when I got a little nervous and started praying. And before you know it, we were going into active labor, And once I got to 5, things progressed really quickly. And I remember I was laying on my back. And so with the next pregnancy and all the other ones, I learned that laying like flat on your back is not good. And I don't even know how I got there, but anyway, yeah, I was laying on my back. So it was very painful. Very, very, very painful. I didn't know where the pain was coming from. It's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, delivered him. He was really small. He was 4 pounds, 8 ounces. His head was a little, you know, on the larger side, but not too big. But he was a cute little baby. He was, you know, like a little small preemie. Now you can't tell at all that he was a preemie. He eats a lot. But anyway.
Yeah, he eat like a grown man. That joke.
But back to...
So I used to get Chinese food, right? I still get it. You know, with a toddler, I'm not sharing my plate, but mommy can share her plate. Give him some of the rice and some of whatever meat we chose to get, but I gotta buy him a whole plate. And Chinese food don't cost $9 no more. That's $14 a plate.
Oh, I didn't know it was that bad. I ask him to get Chinese all the time. I crave sweet and sour chicken this pregnancy. Last pregnancy, I just wanted egg rolls. I just wanted egg rolls with Matt, but this pregnancy, I want sweet and sour chicken. Anyway, so actually we had that for dinner. Thanks, honey, yesterday. But anyway, back to the stories. Is there anything else you want to say about Will?
No, just want to share, while I was at the hospital, you know, I was just a visitor, you know. Dads don't get any attention.
Bill, you did.
I got a hard chair with a half a pillow and 1 blanket. And you know, see what they do is after hours, I think like 7:38, I think they got a master thermostat and they turn all the heat off. God.
I don't remember any. Oh, I forgot to say, Will was born the day of his baby shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that morning.
So I was going fishing. I was going.
Yeah, how were you going fishing?
I was going fishing that morning because the baby shower was later that day.
Yeah, it was a later baby shower.
Right. So
I was probably gonna be with some friends. I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, so I went because she was not really in labor so long, but she had got induced. So, of course, time and then waiting for dilating. And I went to the baby shower. It was set up and everything.
Yeah.
And I waited till everybody to come in and sit and start eating. And I say, I have an announcement. So eyes got big, because for one, where's mommy, right? I'm like, Gwen's in the hospital. Well, what are you doing here? I'm like, she's not there yet, but just know.
And our church wasn't that far. It was like maybe 7 or 8
minutes.
I would say 7 or 8 minutes.
Well.
Yeah, because we live, it's about 7 or 8 minutes. But yeah, I wasn't concerned because literally nothing was going on. I was chilling. Like, I hadn't asked for pain medicine or nothing. But anyway, so yeah, the epidural. When I did ask for the epidural, it was time to push. So I went from 8 to 10 pretty quick. I don't remember like the time frame. Not 8 to 10, 5 to 10 really quick. And he was small, but I did have to push like 3 or 4 times with him. Anyway, so Bill, we have 4 more stories.
It's a man-child.
And the nurses were so sweet. I still remember those nurses. I actually had one of them with Matthew, but she didn't help with the delivery. She was just there when I got there, and I was like, I remember you.
They asked me if I was okay. I was like, yeah, give me a cape. I need a mask. Give me some gloves. Like, this don't bother me. I want to see A to Z all of it, right?
He's always really good. Like, I actually call him, you know, like when you're cleaning and stuff, I'll just say it like that. I call him, and my mom was there, and I called him.
Supporting her while she had to push, just wasn't my level of experience. So having said that, I had to assist the nurses because trying to help her breathe and breathe in, breathe out, you know. So I say, nurse, you need any help?
Anyway, anything else you remember from Will?
No, that hard chair. Now it was cold and they didn't give me any food.
And it was a dark room to me. I remember that.
But I know I drunk about 12 ginger ales. That's about the only courtesy they gave me.
Bill, they gave you a plate of food after the delivery.
Yeah, you're right, they did. They did.
Did you like it?
What did I get?
I thought you got the steak.
Yeah, I got the very well steak.
Hospital food is good to me. I don't know about y'all, but I love it. I don't know if it's because I'm hungry. I've had people that time.
I wouldn't know what tastes like.
Bill.
But that was the only time I got food with
You
William.
got food with what?
No, with Graceland, Cara, Ava, they ain't offer me nothing. I got running Bojangles.
I didn't really crave anything. I did have somebody bring me a sub one time.
I had to go get me a 2-piece. I'm over here looking like I'm a hungry man. Like, hey, what are you gonna have for lunch? Goodness.
On to Graceland. So, Grace, same thing, but we were living about 30 minutes from the hospital this time. So, yeah, with Will, it was like very close, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But with Grace, it was a 30-minute drive. My water broke. I wasn't in active labor, so really wasn't feeling much of anything. I just remember folding the clothes. Just so happened that we lived near his family. So one of his cousins came and got William. And I don't know where Will was at. Was he at your mom's? That's irrelevant. But I know he stayed with family, and then eventually my mom came. But Graceland, my water broke at night too, so we had to go to the hospital. I don't remember how late it was, but it wasn't, I don't think it was super late this time, but it was November, so it was dark. But I don't think it was like super late. But yeah, went to the hospital. I don't even think I changed my dress. I was just so like anxious or whatever. But yeah. You remember anything else about getting to the hospital? You remember living in Johnsonville?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, we got there. And they didn't want to induce me yet because they like to induce in the morning. So chilling again, got some good sleep. Woke up, they induced me, and it was a long labor, but it wasn't like super painful. I do start to feel like heavy, crampy type feelings. And then when I get in active labor, that's when I'm like, ah. And I remember, oh, no. Let me back up. So before I got to active labor, I remember I called my pastor because they were talking about a cesarean. And so I called my pastor and I said, Bishop, I need you to pray for me because they're talking about giving me a cesarean and I really want to have the baby naturally. And he prayed and like he went to speaking in tongues, and I remember the spirit came over me and I just passed the phone back to Bill. And I went into active labor, like literally after I got off the phone with him. And I remember being in pain. I think I asked for epidural.
Yeah, so we stayed there for 15 plus hours, staring at a monitor. Mind you, I'm cold, right? I'm hard bed. Anyway, so when she got into active labor, because usually when she get around 5 centimeters and 6, it kind of jumps to 7.5, 8.5, 9. It's kind of like, so when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to induce. So when she got to the point like I don't want an epidural, she was like prior to going, she asked for it, right? The consultant came in and she said, I want to do it. And she said, okay, let me go prepare it, right? So she left the room, and by the time she got back, the nurses had to pull the emergency on the bed, like. They had to, 15 minutes the baby was out, and we sit there 15 hours.
I don't think Grace was that long. I think she was like, I know William was 16.
It was.
I think Grace was like 11, 12.
The lady went to
Before
get the
active.
epidural. She came back with the card.
No, when she came back, I remember she was trying to give it to me, but I think at that point when she got back, I didn't want it anymore.
They didn't even know how to put the bed flat. Like, so the bed has of course, the remote control, but there's an emergency that make it flat back, right? And I mean, like, what the, she got a needle in her hands on it.
Yeah, it was like, you might as well go at this point. Because I could feel that time, that was the first time I could feel the baby coming down through the birth canal, right? And that's what I like about not having an epidural, because you can feel everything.
You feel like pushing? Yeah, like I got a boo-boo.
Oh, yeah. I say that. I say I got the boo-boo so that they can marry it up.
If it feel like you got a boo-boo, that's a head coming.
But now I know that.
Tell them you're ready to have a baby, and tell them you want a peanut ball. So you wrap the leg around the
we
thing.
haven't got it. But yeah, I do. I'll say I had the boo-boo because I know that means they're going to move a little bit quicker, right? But sometimes they do move quicker if I tell them I need to do a bowel movement. But anyway, so yeah, they checked me and the head was right there. So of course they tell you not to push till the doctor comes in. And he came in, she came in pretty quickly. She didn't prolong it or anything. And so I pushed. I think Grace was like 2 pushes out of there. And she was small too. She was 5 pounds, 4 ounces. So yeah, that was a fun one. Oh, it was something about Grace. Oh, I remember. I'm just going to say this real quick because it's not funny, but it's just very interesting. I remember before we called the pastor, I was like, Bill, call Bishop. You remember that?
No. No.
I was like, call Bishop. I could barely talk, y'all, because I was in a little bit of pain by then. And then he called Bishop. But I think I was more so, I just didn't want to have a cesarean. So I think I was crying, like, kind of very emotional because I didn't want to have a cesarean. And so I couldn't really talk. So it was like, call Bishop. But yeah, and he called him for me. He was looking like, huh? I was like, call him. Call the man of God. But yeah, now to Ava. Ava was born December 22nd. She was due January, I think like the beginning of January. I don't remember. Do you remember? Because she was born at 37 weeks too. Grace was born at 37 and a half weeks. Ava, 37 and a half weeks. So like, you know, after 36, I'm ready to let's get this party started. But yeah, so I remember walking with one of my friends. We walked around the mall one night and I got home and I remember sitting on the ball. I had been out because Bill was home with the other 2 kids. And I remember coming home, trying to, you know, just work the baby on out. I felt a little bit of tinkle. So I said, well, maybe let's see. And then I felt it again. So I was like, okay, let me go to the hospital. But he couldn't come because it was late. And it was like 11 that time. And there weren't any babysitters that we could call that lived close to us. And so I remember getting to the hospital and they said, well, no, it's not your water. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird. But you know, they put the monitors on you, everything, and Ava was not moving. And so that was a concern. So they said they were going to monitor me for an hour before sending me away. Well, the whole hour, Ava did not move. And I was trying to to move. I was trying everything. Because all my kids move a lot when they're in the womb. So I just thought it was strange. But she just would not, she would not move. And I remember they said, okay, we're going to keep you. Because by now it's like 12 going on 1 o'clock. And they said, we're going to keep you. And they gave me like IV and some other stuff. But yeah, they kept me for a while. And then I called Bill and told him what was going on. I said they're going to induce me in the morning because Ava was chilling. And I remember like as soon as they took some of the stuff off of me, she started moving. And it was like, okay. So Ava just was trying to say, y'all need to induce my mommy or something. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what happened with her. They induced me in the morning around 7 o'clock. And by 11 o'clock, I was in active labor. Woohoo! Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
And I remember Ava very vividly because... Do you want to tell it? Do you remember what happened with Ava? With Ava, it's the same thing. Like, I can feel them coming through the birth canal, and I'm pretty sure many women can relate. So yeah, when I feel them coming through the birth canal, I'm like, let's get this party started. So again, 5 to 10 really fast, like.
Yeah.
And by this time, he knows this, so he's telling the nurses.
We had Ava. Yeah, by the time we had Ava, even for Cara and Matthew, like I would tell the nurse, look, she gonna take 82 days to get to 6 centimeters. But whenever she get that 7 mark, be on standby because she gonna skip numbers, right? I said, I'm telling you now, this is gonna happen. So go ahead and prepare so you don't have to scramble. But when she get to 6 and 7, that's it. You can forget any other plans or shift change, cut that. But yeah. And yeah, I'm 3 in a row right now. Yep.
Yeah, like, yeah, I do move. My body does move pretty quickly after I'm in active labor, so that's a good thing. But yeah, so what I was gonna say though with Ava is she came out in one push, like head and everything came out. I remember looking at the doctor and he was like this, like she just came smoothly out. You remember that?
Negative.
What?
I don't remember.
You don't? You recorded it.
You said that I remember it. No, I don't remember.
But yeah, she was the only child that came out one push, just very smooth. Like he just caught her like a football. It was very interesting. You really don't remember that? How the doctor caught her? I think that was the only male doctor I had, actually. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was. And with Grace and Ava, they are the only two that were born at a different hospital. I mean, it's still not that far. It's like, well, at that time, Grace was 30 minutes, but Ava, we were back here, so it was about 10 minutes or whatever. But yeah. So Cara is next, and I remember, y'all, I felt like with Cara, she took so long to come out. Yeah, because I was used to delivering by 37 and a half weeks. But Cara went all the way to 39 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
she ride it out.
I was just like, and I'll be honest and say I was like annoyed, very annoyed that it was taking so long. And
yeah, you back and forth from the hospital. Just going up there. I think I have a baby. Check out. See the front desk. Right.
It's better to be safe, okay, y'all? So if you need to go, because
that is true.
They told me come as many times as you want.
That is true.
But I did go like 4 or 5 times before it was actually time to deliver. And I had stopped working like a week before she was born. Because they all were like, okay, like people at my job were like, where's the baby at? And I'm like, she's still in there taking her time. But you know, like when you're pregnant, you're emotional anyway, so it's okay if you're emotional and you just feel like your baby is taking entirely too long. And then people, every time they see you, like I got to a point I didn't even want to go to church anymore. I didn't want to be around people because I didn't want anybody to ask me, "Oh, your baby's still in there?" It was like, yes, y'all see I'm still pregnant. But yeah, I really don't remember. I remember we were back at the old hospital. But I just remember, help me out, honey. Anyway, we had been, when I got to the hospital with Cara, I knew one of the ladies. She used to go to my church. So I remember her because she went to our church and she said, "Well, have you tried the peanut ball?" And I was like, "Peanut ball? What is that?" And basically it's shaped like a peanut. I think they're more popular now. I don't think a lot of people knew about them in 21, or maybe they did, but it was never offered to me, right? And so she asked me if I wanted to try that, and I was like, yeah, sure. But they did induce me with Cara. Like by this point, I just didn't mind being induced. I actually preferred it just to hurry the process along. So, yeah. But I remember being induced. I remember they gave me the peanut ball. And when they gave me the peanut ball, it sped things up pretty quickly. And I like how I had to lay, because I had to lay on my side. And I could feel her coming down. And I said, "Bill, take the ball." Get this ball away from me. But it works great. Like, it helps so much with helping the baby to descend and come on out. So, yeah. And it was another one. He did tell them, y'all need to start getting ready.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
But yeah. And Cara was actually smaller than Ava. Ava was 5 pounds 11 ounces, and Cara was 5 pounds 8 ounces.
And now she's still 5 pounds.
Cara is small.
And her attitude is 28 pounds.
She's petite, but yeah, she's like the feisty one. She's the smallest one, but she thinks she's the boss of everybody, literally. But I know one thing: if I want something done, if I need somebody, I say, "Cara, go tell Will to come here," and she will stand there until Will moves. She doesn't play. So I love that about her. She's definitely the smallest one. Still the smallest one. Like her and Matt wear the same shoe size. Oh yeah, I put their feet up against each other, same size, because he didn't believe me. Same size foot, both in a 7. But yeah, anyway. Anything else about Cara?
No, just the visit that you had. But again, all of her birth has been a trickle, right? You know, we see on TV, my water break, and supposedly, you rush into the hospital. That wasn't the case. It was, because I think during pregnancy, sometimes you kind of urinate on yourself, right?
Yeah, you do, but I think it's like it's an uncontrollable gush.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
with experiencing that, she was unsure.
Right.
But something was different about that, right? What is the thing that comes out in the shower?
Oh, the mucus plug. It doesn't come out in the shower. It's just mine have always come out in the shower.
Right.
And with Cara, again, nothing. Like Will, my mucus plug came out at 34 weeks. Grace was 36. Same with Ava. Cara, nothing. I think the mucus plug came out in the hospital. I was so over it with Cara. But she was one of them COVID babies, so I was like, maybe she just want to stay in there a little bit longer and stay away from the virus. I don't know, but it was just like, girl. But she came, thank God. But, okay, so moving on to Matthew. Matthew was born, he was an April baby. He almost made it to 39 weeks, but I remember... Oh, I went to the hospital. He was another one. I went to the hospital, not as much as Cara, but I went to the hospital like maybe 2 or 3 times. And I was like, I know y'all tired of seeing me. And they were like, no, girl, come on. Because, you know, it's better to be safe. So that's why I say if you feel like you need to go for whatever reason, just go get checked out, especially if you're over the 35-week mark. Or maybe even if you are at the 35-week mark, you know, just it's better to be safe because they'll accept you and they'll send you home if nothing is going on. So, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, with Matthew, I just remember going, they checked me, and I was 2 centimeters, and they said, they called the doctor, and the doctor said, well, let's just see if she dilates anymore. And so I went to 3 centimeters, and they said, okay, we're just going to keep you. The doctor said they were just going to keep me. And so I called the lady that I asked to come, and she came. Shout out to Amy if you're watching. Miss Amy. But yeah, she came, and we sat there for a while and just talked. And I said, okay, can I get some Pitocin, please? I want to be induced. And they said, well, no, let's just hang on a little bit because we know you're going to go pretty fast. I don't know how they knew that, but they did. Maybe it's because it was my 5th baby. They were like, you know, we just kind of want to wait it out because there was only one doctor there that day. And they had twins being born down the hall and another girl was in active labor. So it was like,
Yeah.
they didn't want to induce me because that would have probably sped up the process. It would have.
Every room had a mama in it.
Yeah, it was packed that day. And I remember,
Night.
well, yeah. I remember, yeah, I did. Did I sleep there overnight? Or I went in the morning? Yeah, I did sleep there overnight. Yeah, and then, yeah, the next day is when, the next morning, around 6 o'clock, because I think they started inducing around 6 or 7, but they told me that they wanted me to wait. But I made it to 5 centimeters on my own, so I probably could have got there without being induced, but I was just so ready to be induced. I was like, y'all get this baby out of me. And so they did finally induce me, and then I asked for epidural, and the nurse, like, they just refused. Like, they were being nice about it. Like, because they can't tell you no, right? But she would be like, okay, well, let me let you think about it, and then I'll come back and ask you. So, yeah, they just took their time with the epidural. Are you sure you want to do it? And so I'm going back and forth because they keep asking me if I want to do it. Do you remember anything about that?
Yeah.
Did you encourage me either way?
I'm not sure. I think I was leaving the executive decision up maybe for you.
Yeah, the nurse, I think she's the main reason I didn't get one because I really wanted to try. I had talked to a couple ladies who had epidurals and they said they were just, it was so much easier because they got to rest. And I was like, okay, so I want to try it, right? But yeah, they didn't even get a chance to come because once they induced me, because I was already at 5, it didn't take long at all for my body to get prepared and go into active labor and then ready to push. Matthew came out in 2 pushes though.
No, he did.
He did.
That head pulled out and it stayed pulled out.
Well, I meant once the head. Well,
Push. And his head was just sticking out. I'm like, yeah, that's my man child. I see the hair strands. But then they had to wait for a contraction to come so she could push again.
I was ready to push.
He would not come out. The little head was just poking out.
I was, after you've done it for a while, you just like, you know what it feels like. Because once that head pops out, it's just such a relief to me.
Well, his wasn't poking. He was halfway through. And she was pushing.
And they were saying that.
But I guess based on what I've seen, without the contraction,
yeah,
it's a little more challenging for the mom to push, right?
I was really trying.
So she had to wait.
They would say stop, and I'm like, the baby gotta come.
Just breathe. Breathe.
Bill.
I'll just rub my eyebrows. And then once the head come out, the rest of it just... And I put on the gloves and cut.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Does a great job.
I got 5 years of internship in nursing, hands on.
Yeah, he does good. The blood and stuff, it doesn't bother him, you know. I think he does leave me though. Do you leave me after the baby is born when they do the cleaning and stuff? After they put the baby on me?
Leave you?
Like, do you leave and go to the baby, or do you stay with me?
They have the baby.
But so you stay with me and talk to me? He doesn't stay with me. He goes to where the baby is at.
She be like this.
I do though. Now that I think about it, cause I'm just so tired. Like,
Out.
I'm not asleep though. Like, I'm listening to the baby cry, and then I'm listening to them telling me the measurements and all that. But after I have that skin to skin, I'm like, okay, we're good. And then they take the baby, clean them up, do what they have to do, and I'm listening. And then, you know, they deliver the placenta and all that. So, yeah. But I am tired. I'm telling you, when that head comes out, it's just such a relief. It's like, yes. Because, you know, the body won't take too long. So it's just like the head. And he was the biggest. He was 7 pounds, 7.7 pounds. How do you say it? He was 7.77. Yeah. He was the biggest baby. And I feel like he was the easiest. I don't know if it's because he was the last one but yeah, he was the easiest labor and delivery for me. I mean, when that head is coming down and coming through the birth canal, that hurts. It does hurt, but I know that means that the baby is coming. Oh, and I did want to mention this too. Every time I'm pregnant, I talk to my babies. I sing them God Is. And I don't sing it loud enough to where people can hear me, but I do remember Aunt Doris was in the room one time and I was singing. She said, oh, she's singing to the baby. She said, I ain't never heard nobody sing when they're in labor, because I was in a little bit of pain. I was in a cramping pain, you know, but I was just chill. But yeah, I sing, God is the joy and the strength of my life. And I remember with Matthew, it was around the same time Melvin Crispell put out his song. And my friend sent that to me. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. But she sent it to me after I had delivered. And I just thought that was pretty cool, because that's the song I sing to every baby. And actually, I sung it to Cara and recorded. After Cara came out, I was singing the song to her. And yeah.
I can't sing, by the way. Just want to make that
all
clear.
My kids can sing. Even Matthew. I heard Matthew singing, oh Lord, we praise you. And he wasn't singing like the actual words.
Yeah, he had snacks right here in his mouth.
But you could tell what he was singing. And I was like, he said, something. I don't know the exact words he was using right, because I'm not a baby. But yeah, it was just so cute that he was singing. And you can tell he liked to sing. He grabs a mic too, and he'll start singing. But yeah, I talked to all my kids. Were you about to say something? I talk to all my kids while I'm in labor with them, because I think I heard with William that the baby is going through a lot too while you're going through a lot. So I talk to them. I'm like, okay, come on, Will. Or come on, Matthew. Let's do this. We got it. You okay? You okay? I talk to all my kids while I'm in labor with them. And it just helps me. I mean, they probably don't really understand what I'm saying right, but like, I just feel like that bond and closeness with them, because yeah, it's something, it's a beautiful thing, especially, you know, going through the 9 months or the 8 months. And then to be able to have the child that you've been carrying with you, it's just so nice. So I definitely talk to them. I mean, I talk to them too, like, while I'm pregnant. But like, this one is moving a lot right now. I don't know if it's the way I'm sitting. When I lay down, I definitely feel it more. But I'm a little scared, y'all, because he's a big baby. I can tell already. So we might go on a diet. But I know he's head down because I can feel him kicking.
But what we'll do, we'll follow up after we have this one and share that experience.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Is that exciting?
Cut.